All right, so somebody is making and selling Coca-Cola with a K. Naughty, naughty. So the right to stop them is in this Deceptive Trade Practices Act. So to make sure we're not missing anything, we're going to apply the 3 steps of analyzing a statute. And we'll start with step 1. We'll break the on-point statute into elements. So first of all, in Lexis, we need to find the actual source. So you can just start to type in the actual name, and it'll pop up usually in your search. So then you can just click on it and go right to it. Now I'm going to click on here the short title, and then over here importantly is the table of contents for the whole thing. So you know that the practice of copying is here in this section 372. You can't pass off the goods or services of another. And then what we're really interested in is enjoining them or stopping them by getting an injunction and what the limits are of that relief. And that's why we're focusing on this sentence here. Relief granted for the copying of an article shall be limited to the prevention or confusion, blah, blah, blah. So that's what we're going to parse out. So I've put that language into my plan here, and I've parsed it out. You can see right here. Now I got 8 elements. You might have 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, depending on how accurate or narrow you went. But the important thing is that you separate the concepts. Attorneys have to take the language and parse out each individual concept and methodically go through each one and make sure that it's not vague. And we're focusing on this word article because when I read the word article, it struck me as a little odd because you don't think of a can of Coca-Cola, even spelled with a K, as an article. I might call it a product or something else. We use the word article for clothing or something. So there it is, all parsed out. Now, we're going to come back to this in a second. We're going to define this in detail. But the second step of the research process, or the process for analyzing a statute, is to look at the rest of the statute. So if we look at the rest of the statute here, luckily it's a pretty short one. We're going to read the whole thing here. And there's nothing else specifically on articles or anything like that. And so we did our job by reading that. Just imagine we read that. So that's step 2. Now step 3 would be to find the definitions section of the Act, which we see right here, and to read that looking for our term. Oftentimes, your term is not in the definition section, okay? But you have to look, because if it is, that's binding law. So look in the definition section. If it's not here, you go to the 4th step of the research process and you look for case law. But it is here in the definition section. An article means a product. So they defined it more broadly. So Coca-Cola is a product, so it would fit within this area here. Okay, so that's the kind of the quick and dirty of going through the 3 steps of analyzing a statute. Start by breaking the statutory language into elements, methodically go through each one. Make sure step 2 is make sure you're not missing anything in the Act. And then step 3 is define each of the vague terms that you found. Okay, see you back in the book.